So for everybody who is also pushing for municipal broadband and net neutrality in their communities, here's something interesting that's going on, and I just heard about this. I want to look into it. Fiber freshens the soul. Susan Crawford's new book delivers more than data. So Susan Crawford is, I believe, an academic and a writer, and she talks a lot about issues of digital rights, issues of community broadband, issues of fiber connectivity, and here's her newest book. Susan Crawford has published the right book at the right time, Fiber, the Coming Tech Revolution, and Why America Might Miss It. Makes a compelling case for local organizing around better internet networks upon which the future will be written. The book revolves around several communities that will be familiar to anyone following community networks, cities like Chattanooga and Wilson, many of whom are members of Next Century Cities. So Next Century Cities is an organization connected to Muni Networks that focuses on cities that are becoming Muni broadband cities. Even people with only a casual interest in how to achieve the best internet access will recognize some of the community names in Susan's latest book. So she highlights places that have got it right and got it wrong. And the places that have got it wrong, she explains why they got it wrong. And when I say it, I mean building a network in the community. So I'm for sure going to get this book, and then we're going to try to get Susan on the show. So for all of you interested in the municipal broadband and net neutrality issues, this is recommended reading. I don't know Susan Crawford at all. I'm familiar with her work and what she does vaguely, like I know of its existence. This will be the first book of hers that I read. I'm going to read the book, and then hopefully we're going to get her on the show. Hopefully she'll agree to do the show. Again, for those of you that maybe this is your first introduction to this issue, I know people that are regulars on the show, this isn't, but for those that is, municipal broadband takes the internet out of the cable company's hands and puts it into the hands of cities and communities. That's what it is. It's taking the internet out of corporate America's hands, where it never should have been in the first place, and puts it into the hands of the community. This preserves net neutrality, because net neutrality is going to be written in the charters. And we've lost net neutrality, and that's why it's so important now. It's been important forever. People have been fighting for this since the advent of the internet. But now more than ever, it's important because we've lost net neutrality, which means ISPs, internet service providers like Comcast, AT&T, Verizon, they can dictate what you can and can't see. They can accept money from content creators, and those that can afford to pay get their videos loaded faster. Those that can't won't. So something like this stream wouldn't be able to exist anymore. Independent media will be crushed. It'll basically make the internet into cable television. That's what it has the potential to do. We haven't seen the effects of it yet. Why? Because they're fighting it in court. They're fighting net neutrality in court. But we can't just hope that policy always falls on our side. We can't just hope that we're going to be able to hold the front lines on net neutrality forever, because we're not going to be. And once you lose a medium, it's gone. Ask people that worked in radio prior to 1996. Ask them how that works. Once you lose a medium, it's gone. So we lose the internet, we ain't getting it back. That's just how it works. So municipal broadband is a permanent fix for that, because it puts the internet in the city's hands and in communities' hands, and in some cases, independently run co-ops' hands. There are internet co-ops in the country. There's one in Ohio. That's another entity we got to get on the show. So for those of you that are fighting this fight, and I know some of you use the playlist. Some of you have gone to city halls in your communities. I've met some of you on tour that have told me you've gone to city halls, made the case for Muni broadband. Some of you have turned mayors onto it, and they're on your side. You've had better luck than me. My community has not been very receptive to it. And I'm still kind of fighting. I'm going to show up to another city hall. I'm going to look into forming a co-op. I'm talking with some larger organizers in the country. Christopher Mitchell, who's been on this show, him and I are having some conversations on how I can be more involved. So things are happening, and I'm doing what I can. Change has been slow, but that's usually how it works with these things. So I hope I have a similar... I hope I start to move a little faster the way the public banking movement did, and I'm doing my best. So there's an update there. And I recommend checking out that book. Again, it is called Fiber. The Coming Tech Revolution, and the author is Susan Crawford.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and